2 critical injured after fire engulfs Bangkok bar. I am Drani Sunday. Join me for more details. A silent but growing menstrual health crisis is denying thousands of girls across Uganda West Nile sub-region their right to education, with a new regional education report revealing that nearly 40% of primary school girls miss between 3 and 5 days of school every month because they cannot manage menstruation safely and with dignity. The findings gathered from Arua City and several districts across West Nile paint a troubling picture of how period poverty, inadequate sanitation facilities, persistent stigma, and limited menstrual health education continue to undermine girls' academic performance and school completion rates. Education officials warn that the consequences extend far beyond monthly absenteeism. Girls are increasingly falling behind in class, losing confidence, and ultimately dropping out before completing primary education. The report estimates that the primary school completion rate for girls across parts of the region remains between 35 and 38%, with the menstrual health challenges identified as one of the major contributing factors. The problem affects learners in both host communities and the refugee settlements, as well as those living in urban. According to the Arua City Education Officer, while revealing the statistics, according to Ombere, education authorities continue to receive numerous complaints related to menstruation stigma, with many girls staying away from school during their menstruation periods because they fear embarrassment or discrimination. He noted that the continued absenteeism contributes directly to the low completion rate among girls and called for stronger collaboration between education authorities, health institutions, development partners, and communities to address the challenge comprehensively. For many girls, however, the reality remains difficult. Learners interviewed during the assessment described menstruation as one of the biggest obstacles to their education. The Uganda government says at least 16 people died from hunger in recent weeks in the northeastern region of Karamoja due to a prolonged drought. Farmers says they have lost crops because the area received little or no rain since April, the beginning of the planting season. Experts warn the region's recurring shortages are caused by climate change, poor rainfall, deforestation, overgrazing, and crop pests. Together, they leave communities increasingly vulnerable to hunger. Prime Minister Robin Nabanza says thousands of families have been left without food as the dry spell has destroyed crops, and her office is to seek cabinet approval on Monday to buy more supplies for affected areas. The government says it has started distributing emergency food aid. Large areas of maize, sorghum, and soybeans have withered, shattering hopes of a bumper harvest. Nigeria military says it has freed all 44 pupils and teachers who were abducted 2 months ago from schools in the southern state of Oyo and arrested some of their captors. A local teachers union has told the BBC of its relief, but the family said the ordeal has been harrowing and they are still waiting to be reunited with their loved ones. The military said that several soldiers died in the rescue mission. They freed captive are currently receiving a medical treatment at the undisclosed hospital and will return home at a later date, Army spokesman Danjuma Jonah said in the statement issued on Friday evening. A renewed wave of mass kidnappings has hit Nigeria in recent months, and insecurity remains a major issue ahead of next year's general election. The government says it is stepping up security around schools and vulnerable communities, but the critics say it is not enough. In this case, the victims were kidnapped by gunmen on 15th May from 3 schools in the district of Osire in Oyo State: Baptist Nursery and Primary School, LA Primary School, and Community Grammar School. No official confirmation has been given of the victims' ages, but children at such schools in Nigeria are typically aged between 2 and 18 years old. For their families, it has been an agonizing wait. The Oyo State abductions caused widespread concern in Nigeria because of their scale and because it took place in predominantly Christian southwest of the country, as opposed to be predominantly Muslims north, where such attacks are more commonly. The army said the month-long rescue operation involved the military, police, intelligence agents, and local vigilance groups. It said they identified those behind the abduction and dismantled their support network, including informants and hideouts in the old Oyo National Park forest. Lastly, a huge fire tore through a bar in Bangkok late on Sunday, killing at least 27 people and leaving 22 critically injured. The blaze started near the stage of the bar in the popular Katukat district, then spread rapidly, cutting power and engulfing the room with smoke. Eyewitnesses say footage posted online showed panicked customers screaming as they fled, some with their clothes on fire. Firefighters who arrived on the scene just after midnight quickly extinguished the fire. They found the bodies of most of the victims in a bathroom where they had apparently sought shelter. Preliminary investigation by Bangkok Disasters Mitigation Department suggests the fire could have been caused by an electrical short circuit in an air conditioner, though not official cause has been given. There are also reports of people found unconscious near the building's emergency exit, suggesting that there many have been some obstruction, the government added. Authorities say these suggestions can only be confirmed through further investigation by forensic officers. That has been the news in Sararights TV. Continue watching all our program. Thank you.